Okay, what I have here today for you is a Cattaraugus 225Q, a quartermaster knife, World War II. And this knife started off as something I found in the bottom of an old toolbox. Picked up some tools off of a gentleman who, they were his grandfather's tools, and his grandfather passed away in 1939, and he had a bunch of tools in there. Now, these are from World War II, so I'm not sure how this blade ended up in that toolbox over the years, but the blade was there, and it's a full, it has the full tang that goes all the way down through the bottom. Nothing else was there, and I didn't know what it was. It was all rusted, and I cleaned it off the best I could. It still has some marks here. I guess you can kind of see that from someone having a grinder on there, and there's also a mark on the back here. I'm not sure how that got ground out right there, or what that was for, but I had to make a custom handle for it, and pommel, because that wasn't there at all. And so what I did is I took in that old toolbox, like I said, there was an old hinge too, and it was the right thickness of steel, it looked like, to line up to make 3 washers here. So if you can see, I have 2 screws in here that I tapped into the pommel, and those screws go down into the hickory handle. So this was my solution. Now the proportions aren't perfect on the end. I didn't make it exactly like what I saw the pictures of the original pommel and what it looked like. It was more circular, a little bit bigger, it's more stout. I wanted to make it a little more slim, and I ground these by hand, and the middle one interlocks. So I may make another video taking this apart and showing you how this works, because that information is out there in some pictures, but it'd be really hard to figure out how to do that yourself. So I made that by hand. And also you'll notice the handle is not 2 pieces that I glued together. I actually carved out the center, and was able to get it pretty tight. It's tight on there now. And this is also hand carved out of, I say carved, I used a grinder. I ground that out of the part of the old hinge also. Now, as far as the blade goes, it was pretty, a lot of it had been sharpened a lot, so there was definitely not as big as some of them I've seen, but I was able to still kind of get it sharp. Well, it's sharp definitely, but get a point on it again. I had to grind it down a little bit here, and I was able to get a point back on it, and it's sharp, and I put it back into service. You know, it's a great knife. The handle feels good. It fits my hand perfectly. I was gonna maybe make do the leather handle and make it just like I saw in pictures, but this is nice. Okay, so back for part 2 here. What I wanted to show you again with this knife is, if you're looking at these on eBay or something like that, definitely pick one up. They're a really nice stout knife. You can, I actually took this with me after I finished it deer hunting, and my dad got a buck, and we were able to use it to cut through some bone in the rib cage and down by the pelvis, and it really is a nice knife for that. It's heavy duty. You could really get some chopping action with it. So it turned out really nice. I'm really happy with it, and I made a sheath for it too. And the funny thing is, these came with a left-handed sheath. Almost everything I've seen is they came with a left-handed sheath. That's how they were issued in World War II. And I guess that freed up your right-hand side for your service pistol or other equipment. But I made a left-handed sheath for it, and it's a pretty simple, basic sheath, just like they would do back then. I didn't do the welt all the way along the bottom and along the other side, which I definitely could have done next time. But This is not a perfect sheath. I kind of made some mistakes along the way, but it turned out fine. It works nice for this, nicely, so it fits in there and snaps. And then the back, you can see that hooks on your belt. So it's not perfect. Made some mistakes along the way, like I said, but you know, for something I found this knife at the bottom of an old toolbox with, you know, it was all rusty and beat up. It had a bunch of glue on it and all kinds of stuff. I don't know what it was used for. You know, to resurrect it, put a handle on it, and put it back into use. It's a nice feeling. So just wanted to share that. If you guys have any questions or comments about the Cattaraugus 225Q, you know, or if you have any information you can share in the comments, please do. All right, thanks for watching.